So these are potential simultaneous equation questions that you could be asked on your GCSE paper. So when you are solving simultaneous equations, you're looking to see if the x's or the y's have the same numerical value. We're not too worried about the signs, we're just looking about the numbers. So x's have a 3 and a 6, they're different. The y's have a 4 and a 4, so they are the same. We can now focus on the signs in front. If they have different signs, then we add the equations together because we want to eliminate that value of y. So we're going to add those two equations together and we get 9x. 4y plus negative 4y gives you 0, so that's gone. And then we do 16 plus 2, which gives you 18. We can then solve for x, which gives you x equals 2. So that's our first step. Our next step is we want to find the value of y. So we're going to substitute this value of x equals 2 into either of those equations. So I'm going to go for the top equation. So I do 3 times by 2, add 4y equals 16. That gives me 6 plus 4y equals 16. We take 6 from both sides, which gives you 4y equals 10. We then divide both sides by 4, and we get y equals 2.5. We found the value of x, we found the value of y, so we've solved the simultaneous equation. Now the second one, a little bit more trickier, because neither value of x or y is the same. What we need to do is some form of multiplication to make the x the same or to make the y the same. Now, to make the x's the same would either mean multiplying by a decimal or multiplying both equations. Whereas the y's, we can simply just multiply this top equation by 2, and that will give us the same value of y. So if we multiply all that equation, which means every single part of it, by 2, we would get 12x plus 6y equals 66. So I'm going to use this new equation and the second equation because they both have the same numerical value in front of y. Then focus on the signs. So the signs are the same, which means we subtract. Now before I do that, I'm going to reorder these just to make it a little bit easier for myself. Just means that I'm going to avoid any negative numbers. So we do 12x take away 4x, that gives you 8x. 6y take away 6y gives you 0. And then 66 take away 22 gives you 44. We then do 44 divided by 8, and that tells you that x is equal to 5.5. So we found the value of x. Our next step is to substitute into either of those equations. So I'm going to go for the second one, just because it's got smaller numbers. So I'm going to do 4 times by 5.5, add 6y equals 22. So 4 times by 5.5 gives you 22. We add 6y on, and that equals 22. So we take the 22 from both sides, and that gives you 6y is equal to 0, which means y is equal to 0.